So, picture this. You're walking along the beach, just minding your own business, and you see something sticking out of the sand. Well, that's exactly where this absolutely unbelievable story of chance and a $6 million message gets started.
But before we get into it, I've got a question for you. What's the weirdest thing you've ever found washed up on a beach? Because, the ocean has this funny habit of giving us back some pretty unexpected things.
Maybe you found something really personal, a tiny piece of someone else's much bigger story, like a lost wedding ring. It just makes you wonder about the person who lost it, doesn't it?
Or maybe you've stumbled on something from a completely different time, a little piece of ancient history, like a fossilized shark tooth. I mean, that's a real connection to a world that's long, long gone.
And then there's the stuff that's just plain weird. The kind of thing that makes you stop and just go, okay, what on earth is the story here? But as interesting as all those finds are, they honestly have nothing on what one man found on a beach back in 1949. It was a discovery that would change his life, literally, forever.
All right, let's dive right in. This is the incredible and totally true story of Jack Worm and the message in a bottle that turned him into a millionaire.
So our story starts in 1949. This guy, Jack Worm, he's pretty down on his luck. He's unemployed, just kind of wandering a California beach without much of a plan. But his fortune was about to do a complete 180 when he saw this, a bottle, just sitting there in the sand. Now you have to think about the crazy journey this message took. It was written all the way back in 1937 by a woman named Daisy Alexander. For 12 years, this bottle was just drifting around in the ocean, a tiny little capsule of fate, just waiting for the exact right person at the exact right time.
And what he found inside? It was just unbelievable. It wasn't just some friendly note. It was the last will and testament of Daisy Alexander. I mean, can you imagine his shock, his total disbelief reading those words? It's something straight out of a movie.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This has to be a prank, right? But the note was super specific, and after a whole investigation, it was confirmed to be completely legit. This was no hoax.
So, the note mentioned Daisy's estate, and to really grasp how huge this discovery was, we've got to be clear on what that means. An estate is basically everything someone owns when they die, all their money, property, you name it. And in Daisy's case, well, it was a fortune.
So, the million-dollar question, or I guess in this case the $6 million question, is how much was it all worth? Jack Worm, the unemployed guy who found a bottle on a beach, inherited over $6 million. Just wow. An absolutely life-altering amount of money, all from a random discovery.
A story like this is so incredible, it really does sound like a fairy tale. And it just naturally makes you want to play the what-if game, doesn't it?
So let's do that. Imagine you're in Jack's shoes for a second. What's the very first thing you'd do with that kind of money? Get a dream car? Travel the world? Or maybe something totally unexpected? Just let your imagination run wild.
Jack's story is such a powerful reminder of how one single moment of chance can just change your entire future. But it also makes us think about the past and how we often look back on our own lives with a really different kind of what if.
And this really shows the two sides of that whole what if idea, right? On one side, you have Jack's story, a what if about a bright, totally unexpected future, like a gift from the universe. But for so many of us, what if is about looking backward, thinking about the paths we didn't take, and yeah, sometimes it's about regret.
Take the story of a man named Faisal, for example. His what if isn't about finding a bottle. It's about a choice he didn't make. He looks back and wishes he'd taken a business management course. That one decision could have changed his entire career path.
And hey, let's be real here. Jack Worm's story is a 1 in a billion kind of thing. It's a story about pure, unfiltered luck, the kind of thing that most of us can only dream about.
So, as we wrap up this incredible story, we want to leave you with this to think about. As you look at your own life, what do you think carries more weight? Is it the unpredictable winds of chance and luck, or is it the choices and the little corrections you make every single day? It's definitely a question worth pondering.